Hey guys, Wayland here from the Zombie Star. We want to do a trailer response. We've never done a trailer response for a movie. With everything that's going on, so many films have either stopped production or release dates have been pushed back or they've been just pushed to TBA. So when we saw the Batman 2021 trailer drop earlier this week, we were just beyond excited and really wanted to just talk about what it's doing, things that maybe have been influenced, or things that we're seeing as callbacks to other Batman films or other films in general, and of course talk about what this film, what Matt Reeves, the director, Robert Pattinson as a starring role, is bringing that's new or things that just haven't been done before. So let's just get into this. Absolute new logo. I've never seen the DC logo in that red. Really interesting. No More Lies is a really occurring theme throughout this trailer, and I really think it speaks to a lot to
from your secret friend. Who?
Just wanted to stop to talk about Jeffrey Wright. His casting was an amazing choice that the producers directors made here. Coming from Gary Oldman, who played James Gordon in our Christian Bale films, some pretty big shoes to fill. But if there is an actor that can fill in some shoes like that, it would be Jeffrey Wright. Everything this actor does, whether it's a small role or he's in a starring role, he really brings a solid performance every time. I really think I only stayed with Westworld for as long as I did to watch Jeffrey Wright. So to know that he's going to be playing opposite Batman, playing opposite Pattinson, and they're going to, really be able to act off of each other is really promising for what kind of movie's going to be and kind of the mood that it's going to take.
Haven't a clue. Let's play a game, just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you?
Several things. We know that the confirmed villains here are the Penguin and they are the Riddler, maybe more. But obviously we are watching a pretty grim, it opens up with a pretty grim crime scene, murder scene. Film doesn't waste any time for letting you know how dark it wants to be. But again, for Batman films, this is not something that's new. Batman is takes place in Gotham City, just riddled with crime and maniacal murderers, and it's gonna keep in tone. But boom, I mean, we are given Robert Pattinson in full suit, already on the crime scene, already an established relationship with James Gordon. So this trailer and hopefully the film really is just going to get going that way, which is good because what's been reported and what we understand is that we're looking at a Batman or a Bruce Wayne that's been Batman for about 2 years only, relatively young Batman, and already dealing with such a maniacal and kind of troubling villain in the Riddler. If you know anything about the Riddler, you know he's extremely troubling. The suit, I don't think it does anything too new. I don't think they really they didn't take that much liberty with it. Batman's suit is pretty basic as far as the aesthetic. You got the dark armor, you got the cowl, you got the cape. What we want to know more of is what does this thing do. I really feel that the Christopher Nolan films really took the time to flesh out the bat gadgets and the bat suit, where it came from, the origin of it, and what it was kind of designed to do, and of course how Bruce Wayne and Batman used it to fight crime. So again, the suit just looks amazing. I think the only thing that I really like about the way it looks, it's very form-fitting to the actor. So you know that the choreography and fight scenes and whatnot, they're going to be very believable, as we're going to see him doing some pretty incredible things in this suit.
You're becoming quite a celebrity. Why is he writing to you?
I love this scene right here. One, because it reminds me of the 1989 scene where Jack Nicholson as Joker shows up with his henchmen at this town gathering in front of some municipal building and just opens fire. on everybody. Just very troubling. Very he's the villain of villains, and I feel this is a little bit of a callback to Gotham, right? I think this says the type of Gotham that we're dealing with. It's absolute chaos. One thing that I like here, a theme that I feel that they're playing with here, is the youth of Bruce Wayne and how long he's been as Batman. A recurring theme for Batman, especially for Christian Bale, was finding something you are afraid of, finding that fear, internalizing it, and then using it against your foes, using it against villains. Batman Bruce Wayne always wanted to strike fear into into his enemies. What I'm seeing here, though, is we're dealing with a young Batman, and what if that concept is kind of reversed in the sense that we've never seen a Bruce Wayne or a Batman that is probably feeling fear himself. And I really feel that it's hitting this tone in the sense that we may be getting a Bruce Wayne that's dealing with handling and managing his own fear on top of everything else that he is struggling with, being such a young Batman, and thrown into this absolute chaos of a villain. We know he's heroic. They didn't spend any time him dodging for that civilian, saving her life. We know that he's got that moral code. But what happens when Batman is the one that is riddled with fear, and his enemies are the ones that are causing this? And how is he going to grow into the Batman that takes that fear and turns it around? Because I feel that this is the type of Bruce Wayne and Batman that we're dealing with. Very young, very emotional, but I think one of the most important things, very scared.
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for...
Very awesome. We already got our Selina Kyle. We have Catwoman coming in here. And again, we know Riddler, we know Penguin. I'm kind of getting worried that we're getting a lot of characters in one film. Historically, this has been an issue with movies not being able to flesh out kind of a clean, smooth narrative, and not being able to flesh out all their characters because they're kind of jam-packed in one screen. I'm really hoping that the producers and writers took their time to flesh this out, give each character enough time for us to become emotionally invested in them. We are watching the chaos of Gotham. I really love how it takes time to, again, Gotham is an entity in its own. It's a living thing of its own, and it just happens to be the kind of the habitat for not just Batman, but for his slew of villains. We're getting Selina Kyle, seeing that she's already come into the Catwoman persona, and already engaging with Batman. So this film, I mean, if this trailer is any indication, we're going to get a film that really just does not stop from beginning to end, and that's a great thing. But for character development's sake, I'm really hoping that they're able to really segment this appropriately.
Your blind eye.
The hell are you supposed to be?
See, I think what we have here again, very brutal. We're getting a brutal Batman. That's no mistake there. They're so unapologetic about it. But again, I want to say that this is feeding into that immaturity, maybe that growth that Batman needs to have before solidifying himself as Gotham's Dark Knight. I think it's playing with themes of, again, that fear driving your actions, and what are the consequences of that? Batman does have this code. He does not kill. He doesn't believe in it. In our Christopher Nolan Batman, with scene with Ra's al Ghul, we know that his code is pretty clear, and he says, "I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you." And I know Ben Affleck was also delivered as a pretty brutal Batman. But again, we're dealing with a Batman that's already just been established very well in the universe. I think what they're doing new here is we are just getting a raw, young Batman, and really going to watch him struggle with the choices that he has to make. And if he's going to make his presence known by, beating street thugs to a bloody pulp? Is he prepared to take responsibility for the consequences for those actions? And what kind of Batman is he going to be, kind of at the end of the day?
I'm vengeance.
This guy's crazy!
So the musical number is Something in the Way by Nirvana, and I think the actual lyric is very deliberate in Something in the Way. I think, again, we're dealing with this Batman that's just dealing with a lot of internal issues. I mean, he's got the suit, he's got the Batmobile already. Amazing Batmobile. Oh my god, I just can't get over it. He's grounded somewhat, right? And I really believe what we're dealing with here is not a Batman that's building himself and building kind of his purpose to those around him, but I think we're dealing with a Batman here who's really struggling internally. And I think, of course, Robert Pattinson is just going to do a great job of just bringing that level of drama. He looks unsure, and like I said, one of the themes here I really feel is fear. You know, from beginning to end, it's just a fearful thing. I mean, I even believe there's horror elements to this trailer. And so we may be dealing with a Batman that hasn't yet discovered how to use that fear against his foes, because first he's trying to manage it himself. And we've already in the trailer, he's very emotional, he's very violent, and that's going to make for just a great narrative and just for a great character development. But what is it exactly that he's going to go through is something that I'm very excited to find out.
You're part of this too. How am I part of it? You'll see.
Again, just that intensity that Robert Pattinson, I really feel, is going to bring to this role. But I think, again, that character that we're going to be dealing with is going to be a wild character, almost one that's, it seems like he's out of control, and it seems like already the Riddler is inside of Batman's head. And if we're looking at a Batman that's only been around for 2 years, how is he going to deal with that? How is he going to grow to become the Batman? Which I think is why it's titled appropriately, because he may not be that yet. He's this kind of mess of a version of what he's going to grow to be. And of course, the Riddler is going to have just a huge impact on what kind of character we're going to see our Bruce Wayne grow into. We do not see much of the Penguin. We do know he's there, but again, I think the Riddler is the one that took center stage here. We saw plenty of James Gordon. We know that he's very involved in this case, and he's going to work closely with Batman to bring these people down. But I really feel that the struggle and the fight here is an internal one with our main character, Bruce Wayne and Batman. 2021 is all they're telling us. Question marks for the twos, which is of course just very evident of our Riddler. But that's what we took away from this. Very awesome stuff, very dramatic. Again, that's, I think, one thing that they're just kind of doing new here. Not that Nolan didn't have drama in his films, it was huge, but I saw we just got a very stable Batman with Christian Bale, right? Oh, I think he always had that compass, always solidified. He knew what he had to do. I'm looking at a Batman here that is extremely unsure, and I'm looking at a Batman here that he feels susceptible. He looks extremely vulnerable, and that's new for a Batman. That's new from things that we've seen before. So very excited to see what they're going to be coming up with next. Maybe we'll do another one of these. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about just the trailer, just about everything that we've seen. And let me know what you guys think about the themes that were presented here so far. Alright guys, thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all later.